In 1991, Ginny Ruffner was injured in a car accident. Damage to her brain compromised the capability of the left side of her body and her left hand, the one she drew with. After the wreck, she was unable to walk or speak clearly.
No, I did a lot of painting before the wreck, and it's a little more difficult now.
I did a lot of painting before the wreck, and it's a little more difficult now. I don't do it as much, but I still do it, and I still love to paint, but just not as much as I did before. It's a joyous thing for me to do, and I love the feeling, the smell, everything about painting.
Ginny got back on her feet, literally, through strenuous physical therapy and a ferociously positive attitude. She has regained much of her previous independence. Her physical recovery has been matched by the reawakening of her abilities in the design of complex glass sculpture.
The vases represent the outer beauty. The grapes represent the inner beauty. I'm interested in the idea of containment. The object implicates what's inside and outside, and the object is a thing of beauty.
Using adversity as the subject of her art, Ginny translated her extraordinary experience into glass. With help from fellow artist James Minson, she created a number of painted glass sculptures called the Balance series. This intricate piece features a favorite subject, her cat, Studley.
But this piece is interesting. I like the way this piece has representations of your older work as well as the Studley figure in the middle, which is the new series.
Balancing.
Yeah.
Because the whole balance series.
The whole balance series is about the various kinds of balance, like learning how to walk. So there's a balance of all the new and the old and everything, the balance of life and art. And you see the light bulb on his chest? It's the universal symbol of the idea. So balance is the idea, and the other concepts of balance, containment, and beauty, rather ephemeral ideas.
One of Ginny's Martians. The figure is her way of calling attention to beings that are different from the norm, aliens on their own planet.
The title is Learning to Cope with the Fountain of Youth. My idea is about surfing over the problems of age. I use the cats and Martians and foxes to indicate how alien I feel in a wheelchair, how strange it makes you feel, like another species.
You were telling me when you came out of the coma, one of the times was when the riots were going on in LA, and you thought that you'd woken up and you're on another planet or another time period or something. Yeah.
It was so bizarre.
Yeah, it must have been.
Yeah, that was so bizarre. That's why I used the Martian head, and it's really interesting that you can make this humanoid thing with the arms and legs and head, and all you have to do is paint it green, and everybody knows it's a Martian.
This is called collaboration.
And it's how it feels to collaborate. You have to have an amount of love, and you're literally tied together. And it's really a real balancing act. They both have their arms balancing, and the struggle is to stay on top of the paintbrush because it's obvious they have to stay together. And you notice they're tied to each other and not the brush. That shows where the connection is.
Using a gas torch, James heats and fuses together glass rods, a technique adopted and refined by Ginny. It is delicate, precise work. Her visions may be shaped by other hands now, but Ginny is still in charge.
Are all the brainwaves going to go into the frame? That's the only thing it's holding. Okay. But these are female Martian angels with biceps. Okay. That's easy. I just let gravity take over. If we all stood on our heads all the time, we'd probably have perky butts too. This is the aerobics instructor coming out in you again. Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
aerobic Martians.
Aerobic Martians. I have to have an extra sensory perception of how this is going to look when it's sandblasted, because at the moment you can see that it's transparent and the surface has a very different look when it's clear. They're sandblasted so the pigment, the paint and the pencils and the dye will have something to stick to.
Another Martian, the beginning of a series on how the brain works. Glass thought waves project images on a sandblasted screen. She will fill the screen with figures and objects from history, mythology, and her own experience. Ginny Ruffner sees life from a point of view that few know. She uses her intellect and talent as an artist to help us understand something terribly difficult, a disability that affects both mind and body.